It's only been a week, and what happened last week? Oh my goodness, a lot. In fact, KDP print royalty change. Oh my goodness. U.S. Copyright Office weighs in again on AI, and Apple has been forced to honor ebook sales without dipping their fingers into the cookie jar. Learn more about co-authoring books with Authors Guild. The 30 Books in 30 Days giveaway continues with some amazing bonus prizes and other relevant news for self-publishing of the week of May 19th, 2025. Let's jump right into things. Of course, we started out, big shout out to my sponsors, Book Award Pro. You want to know why I love Book Award Pro so much? They've given me 43 different book awards, 4 reviews, and so much and so forth. You can get it on the free plan, which I have most of my books on the free plan, but when I really need to kind of get a little extra boost on things, what I will do is I'll put my book into the essentials plan, so that way I can see all of the relevant details about a particular award and be able to see, is this a good fit, is this not a good fit? And if I have a little bit extra budget, I can go ahead and choose to use a boost, and they'll take care of that for me. You want more details about Book Award Pro, make sure that you visit my affiliate link at dalelinks.com/Book Award Pro. Shout out to Book Award Pro. I appreciate your support. All righty. The first piece of news, let's just get right on into it. Last week, you heard from me back on Thursday, actually on Wednesdays when the news came out, changes to KDP royalty rates and printing costs. They sent out an email to everyone. So if you didn't get that, well, good news. I'm going to read some of this for you. So essentially, for the first time since starting print operations almost 2 decades ago, starting June 10th, 2025, we are changing the royalty rate for books priced between certain list prices, less than $9.99 US, from 60% to 50%. These books represent a unique challenge given increasing operational costs, and this change will allow us to continue offering these books while avoiding an impact to other titles. Separately, as part of our annual printing cost review, we are reducing color printing costs for paperbacks in some marketplaces to help authors adopt color printing. Learn more about each change below. All right, let me give you the TLDR. Now, obviously, as per usual, I've put some links inside the show notes so you go ahead and review this. So essentially what is happening is, and by the way, the minimum price level is across different regions, it's different prices. So it's like $9.99 here in the US, it might be $7.99 in UK. You need to make sure that you go through, make yourself familiar with this. What's happening is, if you are pricing your book below $9.99, just your print book, not the ebook, not the audiobook, just the print book through KDP. If you price it below $9.99, they will give you a 50% royalty. Now, let's think this one out. A lot of people are like, oh, Amazon's being greedy. What are they doing? Okay, we could probably go with the greed angle. That's fine. Amazon likes money. But also, let's think about this from a business standpoint for just a moment here. Think about this. Amazon's doing a 60-40 split after print costs are accounted for. Now, that is like literally when they're going down below $9.99, that 40% split's going to come out to some chump change. And so they're having to pay for the overhead, pay for the printers, pay for the employees, everything that's involved there. And this one tiny little book that they're doing print on demand is eating up their time. All they're requesting is 10% in return. They're like, hey, if you're going to go below this amount, we really need to kind of have more skin in the game so that way we can pay our employees and things like that. I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that might feel that I'm being a bootlicker on this one. I'm just being a devil's advocate here. I don't like seeing the change. I don't want that change to happen, but here we are. I just want to kind of be a devil's advocate here for a second. A lot of people, unfortunately, are throwing out some crazy wild theories. They're like, they're doing this because of AI books. They're doing this because of low content books. No, they are not targeting AI and low content books. It's being targeted across the board. It would be a different thing if that was specifically the problem, then they would just target those types of publications. Because one, they're going to know it's a low content book because you got to disclose it. And two, they're going to know it's an AI book because you have to disclose it. So if the percentage thing was a big issue, and if those were the real problems to why they're increasing the costs, then they would have targeted those ones. But instead, they've targeted all of them. Now, some people will say, well, that's collateral damage. Yeah, maybe. But the bottom line is they chose this path to affect all of the books that are below $9.99. And it makes sense to me from a standpoint of profitability. Because if they're only putting 48 cents in their pocket, does that make sense for them to continue to print out that book? Probably not. Again, it's not good though, because there's some folks out there that are putting out, say, coloring books. Doesn't make sense to make a coloring book like $50, thing crazy like that. A lot of instances, coloring books need to be effectively priced down below that $9.99 threshold. Now, there are exceptions to the rule. I totally get it. But nonetheless, a lot of people think that that's the theory. Like, this is the reason why. Folks, do you happen to know the word inflation? It happens. It happens all the time. And they have spent decades at that particular model, 60%. This is prior to that, back in the CreateSpace days. Boom. Still back into there. So they're now just saying, okay, look, if you price it below this amount, we're going to give you 50%. Now, let's take a step back just a second. Because if you were to look at other platforms like Drafted Digital Print, Ingram Spark, Blurb, look at their percentage levels. Barnes & Noble Press, 55% minus print costs. Okay, it's 5% more. Okay, but if you look over at Drafted Digital, though, they're 45% minus print costs. So this slight drop in things can affect you pretty monumentally. But if you were to look at all the alternatives that are available out there, you will see really not that terrible of a percentage. Is it perfect? No, not by any stretch. But my thought is this: look into the alternatives or consider going direct. Consider building your own business. That way you get 100% of things. Sure, you're not going to get the traffic of Amazon, but that's the thing. By building your business on Amazon's property, you are just sharecropping. And eventually, when they want to change royalty rates, and they will, they can do that. And you have no choice. You're just using their land. So I would say leverage their land, build your brand, send that traffic over to your website and make it massive. So that way, if you want to price your coloring book $3.99, knock yourself out. You can always go to an offset publisher, get it dirt cheap done, and you can go ahead and fill those orders yourself. Just think about it from that standpoint. And these crazy, wild theories of like, oh, it's this thing and this, that thing. It's inflation, folks. They've got to pay their folks. They got to pay their employees. So that's ultimately what it comes at the end of the day. But we don't need to roll over. We don't need to say, yeah, this is okay. This is what I want to do. If you're mad and you're upset, take your ball, go find somewhere else to play. That's totally fine. And I'm not saying that in a mean way. It's just the truth. Let's go ahead and move on to the next piece of news here. Coming through Jane Freeman's, it used to be the hot sheet, now it's the bottom line. U.S. Copyright Office says outputs of AI models could lead to market dilution. So on Friday, the U.S. Copyright Office issued Part 3 of its continuing discussion of copyright and artificial intelligence, a series of reports meant to offer nonpartisan and expert analysis. Part 1 addressed digital replicas, can AI legally copy you? And Part 2 addressed the copyrightability of AI-generated and AI-assisted work. Part 3 covers the use of copyrighted work to train AI models and whether it constitutes fair use or requires licensing. While the Copyright Office believes that AI training can be transformative and the report is not anti-AI, it also says that certain uses of AI models may affect the market for copyrighted work, an important consideration when determining fair use. So if you want to get a very detailed report, it's like 100 pages long. Copyright Office is not playing around. They want to make sure that you're well informed. I put a link down in the description as per usual, so go ahead and take a look at that. Big shout out to longtime follower and good friend of mine, Gwen Hunter. She shared this piece here with me through Hidden Gems Books, and I was aware of this particular item. But a major court ruling opens a new path for mobile ebook sales. Now, this piece is put together by the fine folks over at Hidden Gems Books. Let me go ahead and just give you the TLDR. For a number of years, Apple has been just an absolute thorn in a lot of other business owners' sides. If you wanted to purchase a Kindle ebook through your iPhone, you couldn't do it because they wanted to get their grimy little fingers into the cookie jar and take 30% of all sales that were coming through it. Come on, man, don't you got enough of our money? Well, apparently the courts decided that because Epic Games versus Apple lawsuit just opened up a big treasure trove of opportunities. Now readers aren't having to do workarounds in order to buy a Kindle ebook over on Amazon on their phone. among other things as well. So it's incredible to see that now we have an amazing opportunity. So if you've been encouraging folks to buy your book and for whatever reason they have an Apple device, it might be a good idea to maybe send an email newsletter out to your readers to let them know about this recent change. Be like, hey, just so you know, Apple is officially allowing people to buy my books on Kindle or whatever device that might be. It could be over in Kobo, whatever. You're doing that transaction through your iPhone. Now you can do it. So now they have made it available. So big kudos to Gwen Hunter for sharing this piece. I appreciate you. Hey, there's a collaboration, there's a piece by Authors Guild, a webinar coming up here May 22nd at 1 p.m. My good friends Maddie Dalrymple and Michael Laron are going to be hosting this. This is May 22nd at 1 p.m. Co-authoring nonfiction strategies for successful collaboration. That's a free webinar. Go ahead and check it out for yourself. This Thursday, May 22nd at 11 a.m. Eastern Daytime, I'm going to be doing a live broadcast, multi-streaming with the fine folks over at Dibbly. We're going to be talking about mastering self-publishing on Amazon KDP. And next Monday will be the start of a new series here on the podcast. I'll be interviewing live guests on Monday nights at 6:15. My very first guest will be Steven Cyril of Outstanding Creator Awards. That's on Monday, May 26th at 6:15 p.m. Eastern Daytime. We're going to be talking a little bit more about winning book awards. What do judges look for? Are book awards worth it? What do you do with the book awards when you win? Can they sell books? All that type of stuff. So join me there. And speaking of Outstanding Creator Awards, I want to give another shout out to Steven Cyril from Outstanding Creator Awards in the 2025 Spring Contest. Wide Publishing for Authors. My book won quite a few placements. I know it got first place, second place, third place, and a few other ones. It has so many there, and I am very, very grateful for the accolades. So you want to take a look at Wide Publishing for Authors, head on over to dalelinks.com/widebook. And it has been 19th day today, actually. I'll be drawing a winner shortly after I finish up this broadcast. I'll be going on to my main channel. The 30 Books in 30 Days giveaway is still going. It's going to go all the way up to May 30th when we will be pulling a big winner of the grand prize. Now, 30 Books in 30 Days, you can go over to visit that, dalelinks.com/30books. Every day I'll be pulling one winner for one of my 3 ebooks of Wide Publishing for Authors, Bestseller Book Launch Plan, as well as Advertising for Books. You can win multiple times throughout the month. You can enter as many times as you want. And this last week, I just increased the daily entries. So if you check in daily on that giveaway link, it'll give you 5 entries. It's the most entries you're going to get of all of them. So there have been a lot of repeat winners so far. Will you be the next one? Now, here's the one I'm going to tell you ahead of time. Brett from Crave Books is working on some crazy stuff because last week he gets a hold of me and said, hey, Dale, just want to let you know that we are going to offer the next winner a full year on our standard plan for Crave Books promotion. So that is worth $190, $19 per month if you do it month to month. And there's so many things involved with the standard plan. But all that to say this, that was just impromptu. He just threw that into the pot. So he says he's going to be throwing in a few more over the next 11 days. So make sure that you start entering now. There is less than 100 people who have entered so far. It's super humbling for me as a content creator to see less than 100, but your odds of winning are really good right now. So make sure you go over to dalelinks.com/30books. Big shout out to my sponsors, of course, Book Award Pro. You want to get more details about them, go over and visit dalelinks.com/bookawardpro. What'd you think about some of those pieces of news? Was there anything that I might have missed? Let me know, of course, over inside the Discord community at dalelinks.com/Discord. Come on over and join 1,200 other authors and us having a nice conversation about writing, self-publishing, and other random facts. Till later. This has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I will catch you next week. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Special shout out to my channel members for both the podcast channel and the main channel. Without your support, some projects we do at Self-Publishing with Dale would be much harder to fund. If you want to contribute to the cause, visit dalelinks.com/memberships for details and get your on-screen shout out at the end of each broadcast. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll see you soon.